tree down and blew water in the house.
Strong winds making a mess across parts of Maine tonight. Right now, Central Maine Power reports that tonight's storms have knocked out power to as many as 2,500 customers. WMTW News 8's Kathleen Jordan looking at some of the damage left behind in its wake. Kathleen.
Steve, we're in Portland right now and things are much calmer out here right now. But as you mentioned, some people tonight are still waiting for their power to turn back on. And we're still waiting to hear some damage reports in certain areas. But right now, CMP crews hard at work tonight, especially in West Baldwin. They were out there trying to get power lines back up after strong winds had knocked them down. Those winds taking down trees with it, covering the roads in some areas. One tree was down on Sebago Road in Hiram. That knocked out power for some homes there. We did speak to one homeowner in Hiram, Edward LeBon. He is okay, but his home did see some damage.
We had the windows open just a little bit, and it just blew a few things around out back. It blew out a window there in the side, but nothing serious. The biggest thing is we don't have any power right now, so we get the generator going.
And in New Hampshire, the storm moving quickly also through Concord, taking down power lines there with sheets of rain, sheets of hail, those strong winds knocking down trees in some neighborhoods as well. In Carroll County, the sheriff's office there posting a picture to Facebook, lightning hitting a tree and a vehicle in Tamworth. Certainly a lot of damage across the area tonight. We'll continue to track damage across our area. And those we spoke to tonight who are now facing the cleanup tomorrow, they're just happy that they stayed safe through the storm. For now, we're live in Portland. Kathleen Jordan, WMTW News 8.
And of course, all eyes are now on Hurricane Irma, now a Category 5 storm with sustained winds of 185 miles an hour. The National Weather Service increasing the number of balloons it replaces or releases each day in hopes of learning more about Irma. Many of those balloons released right here in Maine at the National Weather Service in Gray. The balloons play a valuable role in helping to determine Irma's path.
As far as a hurricane goes, there's a trough, an upper-level trough in the Midwest that's moving to the east, and they want to get a better idea of how that trough is setting up and how fast it's moving, because that plays an important role in the direction that Irma is going to take.
Roger showed you the direction Irma is taking. Evacuation orders have already been issued for parts of Florida where Irma could make landfall this weekend. ABC's Danya Backus reports.
Across southern Florida,
it's a big storm, so you gotta be prepared.
People are bracing for what could be the worst hurricane to hit the state in decades.
There's the line to get water goes around the whole supermarket.
Food and water are flying off the shelves at grocery stores. Flashlights and generators are in high demand, and residents are loading up on wood and sandbags to protect their homes.
I'm going to board up the house and probably head north.
Hurricane Irma, seen from space, is the strongest in the Atlantic Basin since Wilma in 2005. The governor already declaring a state of emergency.
Do not sit and wait to prepare. Get prepared now.
And the mayor calling for evacuations ahead of the storm.
This hurricane is far too powerful, poses far too great a threat for us to delay actions any longer.
In the Florida Keys, mandatory evacuations. Officials telling tourists to get out as soon as possible. Patricia and Valerie Lynn rushed here from Houston to avoid Hurricane Harvey, now facing a new storm.
I looked at them and I said, we got 10 minutes, pack your bags. We're driving to Dallas, caught a flight Monday morning to here.
Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And remember, your News 8 mobile app will have the absolute latest information about both the hurricane and any severe weather at home. Just make sure you have your push notifications on for the latest developments from Roger and our Total Weather team. Some breaking news tonight. A member of the Maine legislature, Representative Gina Mason of Lisbon, has died. The family releasing a statement just a few hours ago. The news comes just one day before Mason's son, State Senator Garrett Mason, was expected to announce a run for governor. He has postponed any political events. The Trump administration ending the DACA program that provides legal protections for hundreds of thousands of young people brought to the United States illegally as children.
Have a love for these people, and hopefully now Congress will be able to help them and do it properly.
DACA will be phased out over the next 6 months. New applications for legal status filed after today will not be considered, putting many so-called dreamers at risk of deportation. And of the 800,000 dreamers protected by DACA, 95 live in Maine, including 19-year-old Fernando Martinez, a sophomore at USM, who came here from El Salvador when he was 4. Fernando tells us he can't imagine himself as anything other than an American. He says DACA has provided him safety in recent years. The program has allowed him to legally drive, work, and get in-state tuition.
If someone says, why don't you just get your citizenship, trust me, I'd love to. But we've worked with lawyers since we came here. We've paid thousands and thousands of dollars just to get a response that says we can't do anything.
Fernando says that he has been sharing his story publicly recently to help his friends and neighbors understand the implication of President Trump's proposed immigration changes. Well, new at 11, a West Gardner man is being held on $100,000 bail for murder and manslaughter charges. Derek DuPont appeared in court today, charged in the death of 41-year-old James Haskell Jr. from Chelsea. Police say DuPont shot and killed Haskell back in June. And the murder trial of the Gardner man forced to take psychiatric medication to restore his mental capacity gets underway this week. Leroy Smith is charged with killing his father and dismembering the body. Back in May, a judge ruled Smith competent to go on trial. Jury selection is set to begin Thursday, and the trial scheduled to begin next Monday. A Virginia man facing attempted murder charges for a shooting in Portland. He made his first court appearance today. Police say Abdul Timbo shot at a Westbrook man at the Scrub-a-Dub car wash on Forest Avenue Sunday afternoon. The victim was not hurt. Police say the initial investigation suggests that Timbo knew the victim and the shooting was not random. Tonight, Timbo is being held on $100,000 bail. Well, tonight, Old Orchard Beach Town Council approved a measure to raise the fine for false fire alarms. The fire department pushed for the change. It says the repeat false alarms would back up response time to real emergency calls. The false alarms coming mostly from businesses that were left unattended over the winter. Previously, the fine was $25 for the fourth false alarm. Now it will cost the business $50. Well, the third time is the charm as residents vote to approve a school budget proposal in Scarborough. According to the unofficial results, the budget was approved by a vote of 2,223 to 1,985. The previous two school budget proposals were voted down this past summer over concerns about the nearly 3% property tax increase involved in the more than $47 million plan. This proposal is slightly lower than the one voted down in July. A Hiram man facing theft charges after police say he stole bottles collected for a cancer patient. Police say Eric Dorff loaded bags of bottles Monday, taking about $300 worth of returnables. You could see the video there. The family of James Day has collected them since May, sending $500 a week to James, who is being treated in Florida. Dorff will be arraigned in November when James is expected home. His uncle says James wouldn't want hard feelings.
He's not a hateful person that holds something over somebody's head. So I hope the guy gets some help.
In a statement, Dorff said this: "I would like the public to know how ashamed I am of this awful theft and these bottles intended for the medical bills of this young man with brain cancer. I made a huge mistake. I would like to thoroughly apologize for my actions." Well, could it be the next Deflategate? Tonight, a New York Times article accuses the Boston Red Sox of some high-tech cheating in the dugout. The controversy likely to shed some light on the gray areas of the practice of legal sign stealing. We'll have more on the controversy and hear from the Major League Baseball Commissioner, Rob Manfred, coming up in Total Sports a little later on. Also coming up, chasing down Irma, we're hearing from one New England family packing up and heading for the eye of the storm. It's a close call for a police officer in New Hampshire, while he's thanking a technical advancement inside his police cruiser for likely saving his life. Plus, we'll tell you why Maine and New Hampshire are among the recipients of a multi-million-dollar settlement against a North Carolina-based tech company.
Sure, we're talking a lot about Irma, but let's put this into perspective. Irma tied for the second strongest Atlantic hurricane, packing winds now of 185 miles per hour. That makes it the strongest hurricane to affect the Leeward Islands. In fact, you've got to go back to 1980. Hurricane Allen hit 190. Total look at the forecast coming up right after this break.
Is Channel 8 WMTW, Maine's total weather news coverage. Live with Steve Minnick and Maine's chief meteorologist Roger Griswold. Maine's total weather news coverage continues.
Welcome back, everyone. Really a feel of summer out there today. Humidity levels were up, temperatures were up. 84 this afternoon in Sanford. Now Portland fell 1 degree shy of hitting 80, but still we managed 79, that is. Lewiston, Auburn, and Augusta both hitting 80 this afternoon, and it's still mild and muggy out there. Lower 70s in Sanford, mid 60s Buxton, Portland at 67 degrees. The wind is south at 8 miles per hour, the barometer 29.78, and it is rising slightly. Lower 60s New Harbor, Augusta's at 64, Bath still at 67. And inland areas, I really don't expect us to cool off all that much. We're going to hang on to the clouds overnight. Some of the strongest storms now exist from Augusta northward. In fact, things are fairly quiet. Notice how, we had lines of thunderstorms coming and they just fizzled out before they made the final push into Portland. But folks in Lewiston, Auburn, Augusta, down through, Waterville, you've been hit hard with lines of heavy rain coming through. And as we widen out the picture, there's more activity to our south. This front is going to stall, and tomorrow we'll get in on another round of showers and thunderstorms, maybe lingering right into the evening hours. And eventually, on Thursday or even into Friday, we'll see some brightening of the sky. I really think you got to hold off till Friday for much in the way of improvement. Tomorrow, cooler day, only at 69, but it's going to still be muggy out there, so that warmth, that heaviness, and temperatures, many areas may nudge 70 degrees. You get the idea. The possibility of a thunderstorm. It's not going to rain the entire day from start to finish, but boy, I think there's going to be several hours. Basically, it turns out to be a wet day. A chance for a shower on Thursday, Friday, partly sunny. Saturday and Sunday, several dry days, as long as that hurricane stays off to our south. And right now, that's the way it looks. Temperatures are going to be up close to 70, and we'll enjoy a dry weekend. Here's my forecast for tonight. Look for temperatures to hold in the 60s. Showers and storms will gradually fade. Now, some of the storms may be strong, especially to our north. Showers and storms tomorrow. The rain may be heavy at times, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Tomorrow's high about 70 degrees. Another check of the 8-day for you there. Partly sunny on Thursday. Hold out hope for the afternoon, but really, if you're looking for improvement, Steve, I think you got to wait till Friday. As long as we can get it out of here for the weekend, we're in good shape. Of course, we'll talk more about Irma coming up in just a few minutes.
And the weekend is when we like to have it nice.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect then.
Roger, thank you. Well, storm chasers from New Hampshire are heading towards Hurricane Irma tomorrow morning, and they are making it a family affair. Gene Mackin from our sister station WMUR caught up with them before taking off.
They're packing up and heading out. Instead of fleeing, this Merrimack family's driving right toward Hurricane Irma.
It's a really powerful hurricane, so we will watch it come in. If it's that powerful, we won't be near the water. We'll be in a safe place. We'll be in a bunker.
Ron Moore got the storm-chasing bug growing up around tornadoes in Texas. He's been doing this for more than 35 years, earning degrees in meteorology and hurricane studies along the way. Now a pastor, he travels with his family, posting on the Facebook page and website, The Storm Warning. His sons grew up storm chasing.
It's kind of like taking a science class. With a meteorologist right at your, your right side here.
1 year ago, we caught up with Ron in the middle of Hurricane Hermine in Florida.
The flood surge was pretty immense.
Now he'll try to record data in the path of a more powerful Irma.
We'll get out in the field ahead of time and put a couple of these anemometers up, mount them on posts or wherever we can.
After the Moore family finishes collecting and sharing the hurricane data, they don't leave the area. They say their job is not over when the storm is.
more than likely it's going to be damage. We'll spend a couple of days on the weekend with the churches and everything doing cleanup and hopefully being able to help some people out.
There's a certain aspect that's sort of a thrill being involved in the danger, but at the same time, what I also like is being there to help people.
This family trip to Florida leaves first thing in the morning.
And again, that was Gene Mackin reporting from Merrimack, New Hampshire. Well, Boston police are still looking for the man who they say shot and killed a customer inside a Dorchester barber shop. That shooting happened at about 11 this morning in front of 11 other people, including a child. Police say the unidentified victim was sitting in a chair getting his hair cut when someone ran inside, shot, and opened fire. Investigators don't know why the man was targeted. New Hampshire police officer has a carbon monoxide detector to thank for saving his life. Officer Kyle Daly was on patrol in his Ford Explorer cruiser yesterday. When the newly installed CO detector went off, Daly pulled the car over and began to feel faint as he was overcome by fumes. He was able to get out of the car, called for help, and was taken to the hospital for treatment.
It's a silent, deadly killer. If he had passed out while he was driving the vehicle, God knows what could have happened.
Daly is back at work. Meanwhile, Ford says it will address several complaints about CO fumes seeping into its Explorer SUVs. A man from Worcester, Massachusetts, being held on an extra $1 million bail after police say he tried to kill a girl by throwing her off a bridge. Police say Joshua Hubert kidnapped his friend's 7-year-old daughter from her grandparents' home last month. The girl managed to swim to shore and got help. Today's bail is in addition to another $1 million bail invoked immediately after his arrest. Maine and New Hampshire will be receiving part of a $3.5 million settlement from the tech company Lenovo. The Maine and New Hampshire are just 2 of 32 states that alleged Lenovo pre-installed software on laptop computers that made consumers' personal information vulnerable to hackers. The software is called Visual Discovery and was installed to deliver pop-up ads to consumers. Investigators say a fire on North Belfast Avenue in Augusta Friday night was deliberately set. Fire officials tell us the home was abandoned and there was no electricity there. Firefighters got there at about 8 o'clock. They were on the scene for about 2 hours, but had to return around midnight to take care of some hot spots. Nobody was injured. Well, still coming up, the controversy between the Red Sox and Yankees over sign stealing. We're hearing from the Major League Baseball commissioner.
Welcome back, everyone. Wanted to bring you up to date with the 11 o'clock update from the National Hurricane Center regarding Hurricane Irma. Here is an infrared satellite picture using the GOES-16. This is that new weather satellite we've got, and look at the size of that eye compared to Barbuda, that is, that small island right above where the word it says and. That island is right in the path. All right, let's go to the track. Northwest expected.